Hey guys, Lord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the long-awaited Masters of the Universe Origins Ter-Roar. This, of course, is a fan channel exclusive brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel and Big and Bad Toy Store, which is where I got mine. And much like Lord Grasp here, do I think Ter-Roar was worth the wait? No, I don't. But we're going to look at him anyways. I will say he's a little bit more interesting because he does have the slightly retooled, new-tooled torso. Because Trapjaw armor wasn't initially made for the Ratlord torso. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we got accessories to talk about here. And of course the first one is the mini-comic and the pamphlet, in case you're a boob and don't know how these work. There's a cross on the back with my boy Reptilax looking awesome. Still one of the best snake men ever. Don't care. Fight me, if you will. We got the 3 weapon attachments since he does have the Trapjaw arm, but no place to store them. That sucks. Makes me tempted to swap his crotch out for somebody else's and give him an extra Trapjaw belt. That said, we do have the Ratlord neck extendy piece, which I'm not going to use because it looks stupid, especially with this snaggle-toothed whiplash head with its weird fangs sticking out of the knot. I never understood this head. It looks so weird. But this head does not work with that neck extension. And truth be told, Ter-Roar here is an alien. He's not exactly a snake man, so whatever. And he can shapeshift, so doesn't that make him more like a chameleon, if anything? Either way, as far as articulation goes, his head gets like no up and down, or he gets a little bit of tilt. He does get some rotation. He's got the armor piece from Trapjaw on the torso there, and the tail actually does plug in underneath it. You got to kind of work it in there. It's kind of tricky. It's the same crappy rubbery Ratlord tail, so that's whatever. His shoulders will go out. It'll rotate back and forth. His shoulder on mine's kind of squeaky. He does have a single elbow with rotation. He's got a swivel hinge wrist. This side you just get the swivel. And personally, I like to use the titty twister of doom here. Because it looks more like a snake head. Since he's supposed to be a snake man, I think that makes sense. That said, he does have a waist twist. Not as bad as Lord Grasp, but it still has that kind of weak waist peg in there. Hips will kick out, back down, forward, and back. Single jointed knee. Not the tightest knees either. Swivel at the knee. And then he's got the rotation in the boot with a hinge in the foot and a rocker. He's got the cool mosquito boots at least. So he's got that and the Trapjaw arm going for him. So I guess he's not that bad, but he could have been so much better, man. I think Ter-Roar is a cool concept. I think it's a cool mashup of, like, several characters, really. Because Lord Grasp was really just 3. This guy's, like, several characters mashed up. But it just, you know, on paper, I think it probably looked cool. But in translation, no, not really. It doesn't. So, with that being said, before we bring in our 2 regulars here, in the Lord Grasp video, which I highly suggest you check out, not only do I review Lord Grasp, but I give you 3 snake men name sex positions. I have 3 more for you, as promised, starting with the Ter-Roar. It's when you bust your partner open like a bag of potato chips and make them cry bloody murder. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Next up, we have the snake face, when you slap your partner across the face with your privates. Specifically, a one-eyed trouser snake, if you will. Last but not least, we have the Cobra Khan. What is the Cobra Khan? Well, it's when your one-eyed trouser snake sprays venom into your partner's face. And if you do it in the bushes, it's called the Camo Khan. So you got 4 instead of 3. You got 1 more than earlier. If you want to know if I have one for King Hiss and Ratlord yet, no, but stay tuned. I'm sure I'll think of something. I don't want to think of one for Reptilex because he's too cool for that. Maybe Viapor. I have to think of something. But before we wrap this thing up, let's bring in our 2 regulars. The Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibolith. And the infamous 11th Spawn, who as usual towers over everyone because he is not a 5.5 inch figure. So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and much like Lord Grass before him, while I wouldn't say I dislike this figure, no, I would say that, much like Lord Grass before him, I am a bit let down by good old Ter-Roar here. And unlike Lord Grasp, he is not even a good Kit Bash. He uses the weird Snaggletooth Whiplash head, the crappy Rat-Lore tail. Granted, he does have a bit of new tooling going on with the Trapjaw armor piece on said Rat-Lore body. And of course, he has the Trapjaw arm, which is always cool, as well as those Mosquitor boots, but it just doesn't feel as strong of a release as Lord Grasp, despite the fact that he does not have the QC issue in the waist like myself and a few others have had with their Lord Grasp. So, yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.